morning, Russ, funeral services are scheduled today for former D.C. First Lady Effie Berry. The funeral is set to begin at 9:30 outside the Wilton building. Many residents are remembering Berry today.
She was so eloquent, so sophisticated. She is the epitome of class. A lot of people I meet, they're phonies. She stood by her man and she stood by the city.
The funeral will begin at 11 a.m. at the Washington National Cathedral. Mayor Adrian Fenty is proclaiming it Effie Berry Day today. The National Black Press Conference still going on in the city. One issue journalists will cover is the role of African Americans in the media, especially when it comes to women. Dar from VH1's Charm School is in the city and taking part. This is what she had to say about the media and African Americans.
Black people have gotten a lot of negative press with Michael Vick and the things that are going on with Isaiah Thomas and this, that, and the other. And there are a lot of more positive things that we need to emphasize.
I want to just acknowledge the Washington Post again, because today is such an important day of Black history, and you guys are here to experience it and live it. You know, with the funeral of Effie Berry, I can imagine that right about now the National Cathedral, which usually doesn't see much color, is pretty colorful. You know, there's some of the most important people, Eric Michael Dyson, you know, I always get his name wrong. Was it Michael Eric? He will be there. You know, all the important people from Congressional Black Caucus. A lot of the Black journalists that work at the Washington Post that really want to be here with us are there covering the story so that we can make sure that her legacy, what she was trying to do, you know, continues. So I hope you'll take a moment to look at the Washington Post website. They have a great series on being a Black man. This year, as you guys know, is the 10th anniversary of the Million Woman March. Some of you will be back in Washington, D.C. in October. Again, from the Washington Post, David Jones, Milton Coleman, Rodriguez, everybody that's been involved. I wish you had seen on this PowerPoint presentation that we're looking at now. I mean, they labored like it was their project. And I really didn't expect that. I just thought they'd give us a room, you know, and that would be it. But they have really gone all out, and you know, they deserve your support. They deserve, for sure, and to buy the series that they're going to have. I think the series might actually turn into a tour. I know there's a book and a wonderful calendar. Do what you can to go to WashingtonPost.com and look at that series, and it really is, for all of you Black men that always say it's real hard to be a Black man, you know, they got it. They really nailed it on that series, and they had, you know, like a football field worth of writers and editors working on it to make sure it was right. They started at the beginning of the year, and it's just been impactful. So again, thank you, Washington Post. I just want to bring up David Jones real quick from the Washington Post to thank him. And David does PR for the Washington Post, and I was in his office for about 40 minutes, and talking about power moves. I mean, he was balancing his life on one hand, you know, and the Post and me and this and an intern, and I mean, it was just like it was nothing to him, you know. And I was dizzy watching it all happen, and we have to remember, you know, Black publicists. And that's one of the reasons why we have a category this year. I'm going to just scoot over to the category that talks about the Black Publicist of the Year. Danny Alexander, who's the publicist for James Brown's daughter, LaRonda Pettit. I mean, she fought her whole life to prove that she was really his daughter, and now DNA has confirmed it. He stuck with her during that, even though he wasn't really getting paid. While Lisa Bennett worked with Victoria Rao, who was, many of us met her in D.C., in New York. She used to be Drusilla on The Restless. We have Priscilla Clark. She's here in D.C., works with Beyonce's dad in the Congressional Black Caucus. Marilyn Jennings works with Tyler Perry. Tambria Peoples, Tasha White does Floyd Mayweather. Patricia Tobin does BET. Tony Thompson does ASCAP and Ludacris. But it should be David Jones. I mean, he should be there. They have an organization called Beepers, which is the Black Public Relations Society. It's people like David all around the country that come together and they network and they. Can you imagine how good you have to be the PR guy for a paper like the Washington Post? I mean, you have to be excellent, but that has to be a long story. You know, we need to start interviewing each other. You know, instead of just knowing each other, we need to turn the microphone on each other and find out how David got to where he is. You know, Dara does event planning. You guys didn't talk. You know, that's what I love about my job, because I burned out long ago. You know, 16 to now, I burned out a long time. But it's exciting to be able to introduce you to people like David to let you hear Smokey, to let you know, the path that he takes. So I know he doesn't usually like to talk about himself, but if we can just have David come up for just a minute and just, grace us with his words. Thank you.
I'm going to be really, really brief because I know you all have a luncheon to go to, but I just want to welcome you here to the Washington Post. I'm glad that you chose this venue to come and celebrate the success of the black press and to talk about strategies for keeping the black press alive. All I can say to you that today is that it's really, really important that we all, as African Americans, remember to support the black press with our dollars, because as DC said earlier, there's really an assault going on right now in the media, and we really have to have our own voice capturing the issues that are important to our community. And unless we support our own press, we have nothing to do except stand by and listen to what other people say about us. And so if we intend to have our exploits covered correctly, our successes covered correctly, we have to really invest our money in those organizations that strive to represent the best in the best about us. And so all I can say is I'm really proud of what you do. It's really, really important. I know you're out there fending for yourself, and it's really, really hard. But I commend you. You all should give her a hand for doing what she's doing. And we also thank you for what you're doing as well. So thanks again for coming here today. We hope that you have a successful convention. And if you need my number, DC has it. And again, thanks for coming.
Yeah, what's good, yo? My name is Raheem, represent Grandmaster Flash, Furious 5, BlackPressRadio.com. What y'all know about that? Keeping the street informed. Tune in.